Hi, welcome to Camp Happy Meal. Thank you for joining me today. We are gonna do something a little bit different today. So I have a couple of friends that we often share videos back and forth, talking shorts and reels. And usually the ones that we trade back and forth have to do with crazy art experiments or crazy artistic things that people do that their results are always fantastic. And it's like, you know, we all think, hey, I could do that. So today we are going to try to do that. So this was one that I came across and I shared it with my friend Vincent, and we studied this video and and I just thought I was going to give this a try. And I think that this might end up being a new playlist on my channel of me trying crazy artsy videos that people do. But I'm going to do a twist to them. I am going to do the technique that they showed and see if what they're really showing is actually how it works, or, you know, maybe did they leave out some steps, which I'm kind of suspicious about this one. But anyways, but everything that I make here today is going to end up on a card. So that's my twist to this. I'm going to every now and then try somebody else's video, and then I'm going to turn it into a card and we'll see what happens. So this video that we saw, they basically took a piece of paper. They had like heavy brown wrapping paper, essentially, like butcher paper, and they put it down in their tray. And I don't have a big tray, but I have this little tray here. This is an 8x8, so this will give us a nice size that I can cut up into making the cards. And then they used some shaving cream. Now I went to Target today and I just picked up the cheapest shaving cream that I could find, not wanting to spend a whole lot of money because, well, this might be a total bust and I don't use shaving cream. So this might end up going to work and be given to somebody. Unfortunately, the one that they had that was the cheapest one they had, it says it smells like ocean. I don't know what that's gonna smell like. Hopefully it's not too horrendous, but we're about to find out. So the other thing that it needs is you need some ink. So I'm going to use some re-inkers from Stampin' Up. I've got some purple and pink and some red, blue, and yellow. I figured if I use the red, blue, and yellow, then the red and the yellow will make orange. The blue and the yellow will make green. The red and the blue can actually make purple, so we won't need the purple. So we could actually just use these colors right here. So basically what they did, well, before I get to that, the other things I have here, this is a sheet of watercolor paper. I thought that would be a nice heavy piece to use. I've got other ones that are 8x8 maybe. No, they're not perfect square. It's probably, I don't know. Does it matter what size it is? I don't think it does. 8x6 or 6x8. And then I've got some smaller 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 panels of cardstock that I might try. And then I've got some just regular cardstock. This is Neenah and Accent Opaque White, and it's 80 pound. And then I've got a spatula, a hair pick, because, you know, we got to do the wiggly wiggly, and you'll find out what that is. And then I have a spatula, 2 different spatulas. So basically what they did, now shaving cream, apply water to skin, nope. Shake the can, hold it upright. Press the top to release the shave. You can tell I don't use this. Rub foam over skin and shave, and then rinse. Okay, so basically what they did was they took their shaving cream. I'll shake this up good. How do you know when you've shook this enough? I haven't used shaving cream since I was a teenager, first learning how to shave my legs, and man, I was allergic to everything I tried. Okay, so they did this, and then they took and they spread out some shaving cream on their paper, and then they used their little spatula to smooth it out some. And that actually doesn't smell that bad. I'm kind of surprised. That won't be too bad to stand here and work with for a little bit, because you know we're going to try this more than once. I have the extra tray here because I'm not sure what you do with the excess when you scrape it off. Okay, so they did that. I guess I'll just sit this over here. And then they did, let's do some red. So then they just dropped some ink down into the shaving cream. I don't know how much you actually need. And then they took their palette knife and they just spread it around. And this is where we do the wiggly wiggly. They took a hair pick and they did this. What do you do with this mess though? I guess we'll just stick them over here. Parts of the video they don't show you. So then they took another piece of paper and they laid it down on the shaving cream. And they pressed it down. The video doesn't say how long to leave it down. Yeah, this is gonna be a mess. You know what? Let's do just another little piece for fun, to wipe our tools off on, because why not? And our palette knife. Okay, and then they took and lifted this off. And it pulls off some of the shaving cream. And maybe I didn't press it down hard enough. And then they took, well, let's do this over here. Then they took, can you see that in the screen here? Then they took the big spatula and they did this. And they got a print. That's pretty horrific looking. Maybe red wasn't the best choice of colors to do. So, but you know what? We're gonna go with it. We'll figure out how to use it. And I'm gonna add some other colors in here so it's not just bloody red looking. So let me put this over to dry. And then we will scrape this off onto our piece of paper. Okay, and then let's add, you know what? Let's make it purple. So let's add some blue into this. I'm assuming at some point that the blue or the red is going to sink down into the paper below. Okay. So let's mix this up some. It's kind of like frosting a cake. And they're not really mixing together to make them purple, which is kind of disappointing because now it's really ugly. Move our paper out of the way. So let's do this again, but let's do maybe this way. Yeah, that's really kind of icky looking, isn't it? Well, if nothing else, it's going to make some very interesting cards. So let's just take a smaller piece this time because I think I'm going to end up trashing this one. So let's really press this down so we get a lot of it on our paper. And then we'll pull this off. And then we'll set this like this. And then we will scrape this off. That's pretty fascinating, actually. So let's put this over top of this. We're just going to keep building this up in layers for a second anyways. And this is super messy. But it kind of has a tie-dyed look to it. Okay, so let's put this one over here to dry. So I wonder if we can get one more print out of this. See if we can fold this back in to get us a little more white. Yeah, I really don't know what you're supposed to do with the excess from off your tools. So let's just do this. And let's pull it down this way. That's kind of messy, so I wonder if we spread this back out, if it will soak in more of the ink. Nope, apparently not. Okay, so I guess I can run this down the sink. Okay, so I ran that down the sink. It was really messy. I think for future ones, we will just gather it up in this extra tray that I have here, and then I will probably put it in a plastic bag and throw it in the garbage, because that was just a little bit too messy to put down the sink, especially with the ink in it. And you know what, let's just lift this out of here and start again. Yeah, there's definitely parts of the video that they're lacking in showing you. And because all the color was on top, it didn't soak down into the bottom. So we will just reuse this piece of paper in the bottom of the next one. I am leaving the cleanup footage in here so you can see how messy this is. So if you decide that you want to try it, you'll know what you're in for. Okay, so how about for the next one, how about we try some pink? Whoops, sorry. Okay, so pink. Maybe we'll do, you know, maybe we'll do some pink and purple. So let's do some pink first. And that really looks like the red, doesn't it? I should have picked a lighter color of pink. Here we are with crime scene art again. Let's do a big one because we can. I'm gonna press this down good. So, you know, I wonder, before I scrape all this off of here, if we can do a reverse side print. I don't know if there's enough ink saturation on here or not to do this. And the video doesn't tell you like how long you should leave things sit. So let's just leave that go. There, now it doesn't look so much like a crime scene, does it? So let's put another one down in here. Okay, and we're just going to leave that one sit a little bit while we clear off the other two. Okay, so this is the little one. That's pretty darn cool. I can like that. Let's just do a regular piece of cardstock. All right, so let's do the scrape off of this one. Okay, pretty much what I imagined it was going to look like. Just a stripe straight across. But still, pretty cool. So this could go on and on and on and on, you realize. I hate to waste all this good ink on here. Good shaving cream too. All right, so let me put these two over here to dry. A little bit of color to that one. Okay, and then let's scrape off this one. Let's do it, let's scrape it in the same way that we put it on there, which was this way. Okay, it's not bad. Got a spot in the middle that could have used a little more. I know putting some back down there will help. Or if it has to be fresh pigment. I don't know. I don't really know this technique, so we're gonna find out. That's fun. So, tell me, have you ever experimented like this? Do you like experimenting? Or are you one that just likes to go into your craft room and make what you need to make and you don't experiment? I think this kind of stuff is fun, personally. Let me finish scraping this one off. Sure, I have, plenty of pattern paper in my stash that I could use instead of doing this kind of stuff, but every now and then, I really like to just try different things and not really think about what I'm creating. And this is a lot of fun. This is messy, but it is a lot of fun, and I think these are gonna make some really, really beautiful cards. Okay, so let's scrape this one down and see what we got. Not exactly real stellar, but let's bring it over here. And let's put some more back down on it and see if we can't fix it a little. And this may not work to fix it. Okay, so let's lift this one off. This one has been on here a good long time now. And I have a feeling we're gonna end up with a lot of white on this one. I wonder if I can take another pole off of this one. And let's throw some more pink down in this one. And a little more purple as well. Okay, so let's scrape this one back off again. Can we see this one over here? Okay, we've got a little bit more pink on this one, which is good. And then let's pull this one off. That's really pretty. I like how that one came out. And then let's scrape this one off. And that one is super pretty too. These are gonna make some really neat cards. Let's pull this one out. Nice. I think this is going to be the last one. That's super pretty. You know, it's just too much fun. Now that's super purple. Okay, this is the last one. Because it is time to clean things up and go make some dinner. This was super, super fun, and I will be doing this again. I can't wait to make cards out of all of those pieces. And I'll take the camera over there. As soon as we pull this one, I'll take the camera over there and show you what we did today. This is just so much fun. Wow. And I've still got a ton of shaving cream left. So much fun. Yeah, I highly recommend, if you don't mind getting messy, I mean, look at my hands. If you don't mind getting messy, and I mean, this was cheap. This was like $1.50 maybe. And then if you have ink pads, you most likely have re-inkers, and it only takes a couple of drops. This is a cheap pan from Walmart, Target, wherever you want to get them from, the grocery store. Parchment paper, something to protect your surface, and a couple of things to just spread it around with. That's all you need. I mean, it's really inexpensive to do this. And just so much fun, so much fun. Oh, don't make me pull another one. Don't make me pull another one. This is more fun than making dinner, by the way, just in case you're wondering. One more, just one more, okay? Can we do one more? Just one? Okay, let's do one more. It is going to be so much fun to cut these apart and make cards out of them. How fun is that? Look at that with all the swirls. Oh, I'm stoked. I'm so excited. And it's got a little bit of the shimmer to it. I don't know, where did we pick up shimmer? I didn't have shimmer in this. That's interesting because it's got kind of a shimmer to it. So I wonder if there's going to be anything on this one down here. Nope, not a whole lot. That's interesting that it doesn't really soak down to the bottom piece. The piece is definitely saturated with moisture, but not really a print on it. And you know what I'm gonna do? Just so that piece doesn't go to waste over here. Yes, I'm gonna pull another print, but this will definitely be the last one. I just don't want to waste that piece of paper there that has stuff on it. Yeah, I could just throw it away, but it is watercolor paper. Watercolor paper is more expensive, and I feel guilty about just wasting it. But now I know I don't actually have to put a piece of paper down underneath this. I could just do this in the tray. But hey, we're gonna get another print out of it, so it's all good. Residual foam from before. Okay, let's pull this one off. That's beautiful. I really like that. It looks like it's marbled. Very nice. Okay, so let's scrape this off. Okay, and this will be the last print, because it is the last piece of paper. Well, it's not. I have other paper up here, but you know what I'm saying. We need to stop. We need to stop because we need to go make dinner. I have plans at 8 o'clock to watch House of Cards with my husband. So I need to wrap this up and go make some dinner so that I'm ready to watch TV and just relax for the evening. the shaving cream is starting to disintegrate. So something else to keep in mind if you're going to do this, it is shaving cream and it will disintegrate, which is what I've got going on here right now. It's really disintegrating. And this one is mainly just going to be purple, it seems. So let's do something fun with it. Oh, I should have kept going this way. Okay, so it's mainly just going to be purple, but it'll be okay. This would be something fun to do with kids. Do you got kids? You got a husband that has shaving cream? Even if you don't have a husband, you can still have shaving cream. But if you have kids, this could be something that could be really fun for them to do. And then maybe you could make some cards out of them. You know, after you see me make mine, maybe you can make some cards out of yours. And maybe you can send those cards to the grandparents or something. That could be a fun activity for right before back to school, or depending on when this video gets posted. And I think this is primarily just going to be a mess. Yep, nothing really fun. I think our shaving cream has hit its limit. Okay, so now I'm going to walk us over to where I have all of these drying at. And yes, this does make a little bit of a mess, but let's walk over here. And here's what we got. So these were the first ones that kind of look like a crime scene. And then these were some of the second ones. Oh, got a shadow from my overhead light there. So those were the pink ones. And then the pink and purple ones. I like that one a lot. Okay, so now we need to let these dry a little bit because they're really saturated.
So if you've made it this far into the video, now I will show you some of the cards that I've made. Granted, I still do have quite a few backgrounds left to make cards from, and some of these cards I've not added the sentiments to yet because I want to wait until I know what I'm going to use them for. But pretty much this was a really, really fun activity, and I'm super happy that I tried this. I will be doing this again. The next time I won't be using re-inkers, but I'll be using food coloring, and I have some other things that I want to try. So I hope you'll stick around or come back and join me for that video, or 2 or 3, we'll see. But it is really a lot of fun, and I hope you'll give it a try. And thank you again for being here with me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.